we are going to go over jumping skills. Your child may not be at the jumping level yet, so I am going to show you how to assist your child with jumping. It's hard because my son is huge, but you want them to bend their knees. You can kind of squeeze them at the hips, support them around the chest, and you're actually going to do the jumping with them. Okay, and that's just so they kind of get the feeling of what it feels like to be airborne and actually going through the process of jumping. Usually kids love it. So if your child is at the level that they can initiate jumping on their own, the first thing you may want to practice is just clearance. So jump over the line. They will start sometimes with a 1 foot lead, show them leading with 1 foot, and that's more of a leap. Come on over here, Eden. As they get better, you can cue them to keep their feet together and land with their feet together. Once they've mastered the forward jumping, you can progress to directional jumping, which is a more difficult skill. So I always give them a marker of some sort for them to either start and or jump over. So Aiden, do a forward jump. Okay, now jump backwards. Turn to the side, jump sideways, sideways. Again, the progression of the skill will be leading with 1 foot, progressing to leading with 2 feet. That's directional jumping. The next one is distance or long jumping. So they can have a starting point and you can cue your child to jump forward to a marker. You can put it at any distance. Aiden, jump to that line. If that's something that's easy for them, you can just direct them to jump to a further distance, and so on as far as they can go. Fluent jumping is another skill that it's very, very typical for your child to stop and start when they start with fluent jumping. So what you'll tend to see is they'll jump to a marker, pause, reset, jump to the next one, jump to the next one. And as they get a little bit better, you'll see that there's less time lapsed in between the jumping. So I'm going to have Aiden use these markers. They're just different colors. You can use paper plates. You can use computer mouse pads. You can use lines, whatever you want at your house. You can use different colored tape. If the color is a marker that you would like to use that your child responds to. So Aiden, I want you to jump to each square, but pause before you jump to the next. This is what you'll see to start off with. Pause, reset, pause, reset. As they get better, you can start from that end. You'll see a quicker progression between the colors. And that's just more of advanced skills. As they get really fast, you may see that they have decreased control and actually skip over a color because they're going so fast. And if you see that, you can ask your child to reflect. Did you miss any colors? Did you miss any lines? And if they recognize that they've missed a color, that is a really good quality with self-awareness. It's really good if they realize that they've missed something, because then they're better able to self-correct that. You can do different distances. If they're a really good jumper, you can put things really close together and roll far apart at different spaces, because then that's an advanced motor skill, because it's not a predictable pattern that they're doing. So can you jump on every square, Aiden? Another thing you can do is jump with your feet apart and feet together. and you can continue that pattern on, apart together, apart together. Jumping over heights is a skill. So jumping over something as little as a pool noodle might be a good starter point. Again, an advanced progression of this skill is 2 feet take off, 2 feet land. They may start with just doing a leap over or a step over, and that's a great progression to jumping, stepping over, leaping over before they get to 2 feet. You can have them do it fluently, where you put lots of pool noodles out. You can do it at different heights as they get better, 4 inches, 6 inches, 10 inches. The last jumping skill is jumping down. You can use a step in your house for this, the bottom step of your house. You can use a bathroom stepping stool, depending on how light your kid is or your child is. You can use phone books or a box, something that is solid to them that they're not going to crush. You want to start off with something that's a little bit lower, and stepping down may be the first progression of this. And that's a progression, just jumping down. That's the first stages of it. They may start to jump down but lead with 1 foot. And then as they get better, they will lead with 2 feet and land with 2 feet. If they're at that level, you can have them jump down from various heights. You can do it off of the sofa, off of chairs, of course, being supervised.